Welcome everyone in the virtual studio fitness success group. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome. Let me welcome you aboard with some good tunes. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Let me turn this down here. Right on. Welcome aboard. We'll wait a couple minutes. I know Christina's going to be joining us in just a minute. We are currently joined by Space Doggy here. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Christina should be joining us here any moment. I know that she is getting ready with her steam cleaner and is steam cleaning her studio in preparation of reopening here. And in fact, I think there she is now. Christina, are you there? Whenever you have your mic on, let me know.
Hey there, I'm en route.
Ah, okay, cool. I can hear you.
So I just wanted to listen, and it'll be just a few minutes, okay?
All right, I was just sharing that it sounds like you are en route now for our steam cleaning session.
Correct.
Right on, right on. Well, I will just kind of chat away for a minute while you make your way to the studio and see if anybody's going to join us here on Facebook Live, and just kind of wait and see if anybody will join us on Zoom as well, and extend a heartfelt hello and happy Thursday afternoon to everyone. Hopefully your week has been going well. You've seen success. You're continuing to stay motivated. I know that, you know, staying motivated and staying energized can be very difficult, especially in this current state of affairs. But hopefully you've been able to move forward and press through and keep your schedule filled and your students energized as well. Let me refresh and come over into the group and see who's with us today, Christina. If you're in the Facebook group, drop me a comment, say hello, and let me know who you are and where you're from. And let me know if you have any questions. It is Ask Us Anything Thursday. Christina is on her way to the studio right now. She is going to be giving us a demonstration of how she is using her steam cleaner to clean all of her equipment and keep her studio safe and secure for when her doors do reopen, which I expect to be relatively soon. I know she's going to share a bit of that when she arrives at the studio here momentarily. But if you are on the Facebook Live side, if you're in the Facebook group, drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have a timeline to reopen. Has your governor or your authority, the authoritarian in place where you are, has there been a timeline issued for you, or have you already reopened? I know that in my neck of the woods here in Yuba Sutter County in Northern California, just about 40 miles north of Sacramento, gyms are reopened, of course, with lots of measures in place and social distancing and masks required and all of these things. But, you know, other parts of the state and other parts of California, it's certainly not the case. You may have heard that, you know, LA County made a big ruckus in the news that they anticipate being shut down all the way with shelter in place orders all the way till August. And then that was kind of backtracked or walked back just a little bit as far as how firm they were going to be on those shelter in place orders. But regardless, you know, LA County came out and said, hey, this for the next unforeseeable future, more or less, we're shutting it down. So as different areas and pockets of the nation begin to reopen, I'm interested to hear about your what is going on in your neck of the woods and what you're doing in anticipation of that reopen. Earlier this week, we shared the a survey for reopening, and so that you can ask your students questions, so that you have an understanding and an expectation of what to expect when your studio reopens, so that you can schedule accordingly. And Christina shared, open confidently, but schedule cautiously. And I shared an email to that effect, as well as the link to the PDF for that survey. And if you don't have that survey, check the files tab within the group for a PDF of that survey, so that you can ask your students what to expect of them as far as when your studio reopens, so that you can open confidently and schedule cautiously, because you definitely don't want to be scheduling all of your instructors to be all hands on deck, and not having the students to be expected to fill all of those classes. So you definitely want to schedule cautiously. If you want access to that survey, it is in the Files tab of the group, and you can use that file in order to set up a survey within either Google Forms or Jot Forms, or anywhere that you're able to ask, set up a form and then request your student base to fill out that survey, so that you can then begin making preparations on your end. So go ahead and check that out. It's it's in the Files tab within the group. There's a PDF in there that asks the questions for you to use for your students, so that you can open confidently and schedule cautiously. And in fact, let me open it up here, and I'll just kind of walk through what that PDF contains. And Christina sent this out last week to her student base. She got a great response. She received all sorts of student responses, so that she knows how to plan for her studio reopening. And so I just went into the Files tab into the group. I opened up the PDF. It is titled Survey-Reopen Your Studio. It's a PDF within the Files tab within this group, and it is the student survey to reopen your studio. So use this survey to send to your students, so you can open confidently and schedule cautiously. And what you're going to do is take the questions here and use, Google Forms or SurveyMonkey, JotForm, or any form software that you have access to and are able to use. And so what the form entails is, or the survey entails is, you're asking for first name and last name. And the first question is, when the studio is allowed to reopen, will you be returning to classes? Check all that apply. And so the first one is they're expecting to return right away in the studio. Or option number 2, they will stay virtual for a month. Or option number 3, they will return in person in another month, or if they're unsure. So that will give you a sense on what to expect. Are they going to stay virtual? Are they going to come in right away? Or are they going to wait a month? And this will also allow you to plan for your communication with them, right? So if they're coming in right away, you can communicate with them. Hey, that's awesome. We're going to be opening up. Here's the date. Here's the classes available. If they're going to stay virtual for a month, okay, that's great too. Let's get you set up and continue on your virtual sessions. Just, here's the virtual calendar. If they're already booked into sessions, you can remind them of the classes and sessions that they're already booked into, or set them up and say, hey, that's great. You're staying virtual. Here are the additional classes and sessions that are available. Let's get you booked into those. Or will they return in person in another month? So, they're not virtual, they're not coming in, but they plan to in the future. That will allow you to set up your communication up until that time via email, via text message, via Facebook Messenger, so that you can continue to stay in front of that person, stay top of mind, and communicate with them, so that when the time is right, a month from now, 2 months from now, or whenever that happens to be, you've made that effort, you've made that communication with them. So that is the first question. Second question, time of day attendance. I am most interested in, are they most interested in morning, afternoon, evening, weekdays, or weekends? And this is a check all that apply scenario. So that you can begin to schedule your instructors, or if you are a single studio owner, single teacher, you can begin to structure your days around when to make available for your students. Then the third question, I am interested in, check all that apply, reformer classes, mat classes, bar classes, or private training. So this question, of course, is going to set you up in order to provide the right classes available for the students that have that are showing the interest in those classes. So we want to know, the interest of the student, what classes they are going to take advantage of, the times they are going to take advantage of those classes, and then when we're expecting them to come back into the studio or stay virtual. So this survey, as I mentioned before, Christina used this last week for her students, got an overwhelming response, a great response rate. She sent this out via email as well as via text message. So she created the form. She has a form building software that she uses. And what she did was she grabbed the link from the form that she created and composed an email, included that link within the email, more or less stating, we expect to reopen on such a date. We would love to have your input and feedback so that we can provide the best classes and the best experience upon your return. Would you mind filling out this survey? And then also what Christina shared were the measures and the steps that she is taking to keep her students safe upon the studio doors reopening. And that's what we're chatting about here today. Once Christina gets back into the studio, she's going to give us a rundown of her using the steam cleaner. And the steam cleaner that she's using in order to keep her, or to clean all of her equipment, and to illustrate, one, for us, how to use the steam cleaner, and then two, how to she's created a video of her using that steam cleaner to assure her student base that, upon their return, that she's taking every step and every precaution to keep them safe. And so, student safety, and once everybody is back into studio doors reopening, safety is top of mind, and it's definitely something that everybody is concerned about and thinking about. And so it's important that you communicate this to your student base, that their safety is at top of mind. And so what are you doing? What is your studio doing upon reopen that that shows that they're safe, that they're in safe hands once they come back in? And so Christina is going to show us the steam cleaner that she's using. She's going to show us how she uses that steam cleaner, the model that she purchased, and then how she's created a video of her using that steam cleaner and then sharing that video with her student base so that they know that they're coming into a clean studio, that Christina is taking every measurable effort in order to protect the people that come into her location. So it's very important that you do this as well. One, communicate with your students. And earlier this week, I shared how, most studios will send out an email once a week, once every 2 weeks. That's their method of communication. That's just not enough, especially now. It's not enough. It's very important that you use all the methods of communication at your disposal in order to communicate with your students. So that means email, of course, but more emailing. don't be afraid to email more than once a week. Email every, I believe Christine had mentioned earlier this week, every 2 to 3 days, she's communicating with her students. And also using text message. Very important to use text message, because emails are only opened, you know, an open rate on an email, maybe yours is exceptional and you get over 50% open rate. But unfortunately, you know, we all receive 400 or 500 emails a day. I mean, just an overwhelming amount of emails. If you only send one email a week or one email every 2 weeks, it's buried. It is absolutely buried. It's not seen. And maybe it is seen, maybe it's opened, but they're on to the next email. And it's important that you stay top of mind. It's important that you continue to stay in front of your students and let them know what you're doing in order to keep them safe upon your studio doors reopening. So that means using email multiple times per week. That means using text message. The beautiful thing about text message is, you know, it has a 99% open rate. So it hits their phone and they're going to open it. You know, an email, once again, you're only going to receive typically about a 30% open rate. You know, and like I said, maybe you have a very high open rate, which is great. Utilize that high open rate and send more emails and communicate more. Don't just be that studio that sends one email at once a week or one email once every 2 weeks. That's just not going to cut it. You have an opportunity to separate yourself from the other studios and communicate. And think of it, you know, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking about communication as this, you know, sort of bothersome marketing technique, or, you know, bothersome marketing angle. And it's really not. It's just a method of you to communicate your relationship building with that person on an individual level. And the tools that we have at our disposal, like email, like text message, like Facebook Messenger, all these tools at your disposal are different touch points that you're able to build that relationship. So think about this as relationship building, right? And I actually touched on this relationship building a little bit ago in the membership area, where I share all the strategies that we use for Facebook ads and how we're able to attract a student off of Facebook to take advantage of an offer. And then the secret sauce behind that. So we've generated, you know, they've shown interest in our ad. They've clicked the ad, they've become a lead. But the key crucial component after they become a lead is the communication, and the continued communication via email, via text message, and via voice that occurs right after that lead becoming a booked student into a class schedule, or into a private, or into a duet, or whatever it happens to be. Once that lead is converted, this is so crucial, and so many businesses do not implement this and overlook this, is the level of communication required early on in a relationship, and that relationship building. If you think about your relationships, you know, let's say you're dating. Let's bring this back to dating, high school dating or college dating. That early on relationship, you are on the phone, you are back and forth. Nowadays, you're texting, you're video chatting constantly. That relationship building early on is so crucial to long-term retention in a business. It's so crucial, of course, to long-term relationship building in that dating phase. You know, when you're in that early courting phase, think about how often you were communicating. You know, you're on the phone all the time, you're communicating back and forth. And in the membership area, I shared a research document that illustrates this point in the business sense, right? In that those businesses that communicate early and often when that relationship is formed have longer term retention than those businesses that do not. So taking this all the way back to, you know, the Facebook leads, when we're attracting students off of Facebook, they're taking advantage of an offer, they've become a booked appointment into our schedule. It's so crucial and so important to communicate with that individual and begin to relationship build, all the way from, of course, all the way from when we're speaking to them with our messaging, with our ad, they're taking advantage of that offer through that messaging. Then they've become an actual physical lead for you to stay in front of them and show them that you care, show them who you are through communication. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So many people think, oh, this, you know, this marketing thing is, it ends, they've become a lead. And it's not. Remove the word marketing out of it. It's relationship building. That's what you're doing. And I think it's so amazing in the fitness industry, in the Pilates industry, you have such a unique opportunity to really, really develop long-term relationships and an intimate level with your student base. And so it's important early on in that relationship building to communicate via email, via text message, via Facebook Messenger, via voice, right? So I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to go back into the members area, and I believe it is under the secret sauce tab within the members area, where I go deep into this relationship building, and we chat about the nurture sequence, where we're nurturing our relationship with that student after they've become the lead. They're now a prospect. They've booked a class with us, or a private or duet, whatever it happens to be. And then that nurture sequence that goes on in order to help facilitate our relationship building. So fast forwarding all the way to today, here we are, we're reopening our studio. We have an existing student base, or we have our virtual students, right? And we want to ask them what their intentions are to come back into the studio. That's where this survey comes into play and allows you to communicate with your students. So key thing here and key takeaway is communicate, over communicate, relationship build, and don't be afraid to do it. You're going to get a lot of thank yous. You're going to have, you know, the opposite of what you may think of, you know, communicating being bothersome. The opposite is actually true. Your students want you to communicate with them, and it's important right now more than ever that you do, even more so than you did in the past. So I wanted to welcome, I can't catch your name in Zoom, but I wanted to welcome you. I see SM5251. If you want to go ahead and chat, I will unmute you here and ask any questions, or you can drop a question in the chat. Christina, I can add you as video. Sorry. Okay, cool. I will add you as video. And Christina, whenever you want to start your video, that would be great. You should have that.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, cool.
Up, come on. Up. I have to hit something else. Still won't let me add. Maybe it's just taking a second here.
Here, let me do this. Let me make you, I'm just going to make you full. You've got full host capabilities. Ha-ha!
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Christina, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Cheers from our studio here in Kentucky. And just wanted to show everybody today a little bit of what we're doing, and kind of show, I know when I got my steam cleaner, I was a novice. I was a novice. And, you know, we're getting excited because we have an opening date of June 1st. So Like you shared earlier that, we sent out a survey last week. We got great response. I'm already putting in my regulars for June. And it's pretty amazing. Everybody that's responded, we're almost full. Gonna have to add more classes. So
Awesome.
that's a good problem to have, right?
That's a great problem to have. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, so here I am in our studio number 1 here. You can see all my machines here. We've got 6 reformers with towers. And then down here is the very magical steam cleaner. And I believe, Aaron, you shared with everybody the model I have, right?
I did. I shared a link of, I don't know if it was a particular, that exact model, but it was the brand, yes.
Okay, so this one actually is pretty handy. I hope you can see it okay. It can hold up to 4 pints of water. So that means I don't have to refill it as often. When I'm trying to steam clean a lot of things, it helps me go longer without having to refill. And then when you refill, you have to reheat the whole machine again, and that 10 to 15 minute time clock starts over again, okay? So here, let me also show you. I also have a very long extension cord. So I can navigate through all of our spaces here without having to turn the machine off either, okay? So here, let me just see that reverse here so I can see better. There we go, now my hand's in front of the, okay, so here it is right here. And you see that there's a dial there that'll show you how hot it's getting. We wanna make sure it's in the red. So that means, see how that little needle has gone up? It's not in the yellow zone, it's in the red zone. That means that it's actually ready to work. Now, this cleaner, I'm gonna show you a couple things. You're not gonna see my face right now because I wanna show you a few things. Now, we all have very expensive equipment. You do not wanna start by spraying this on top of your reformer right away. So first, I'm just gonna start to spray. So the water's gonna come out of it at first. You see that? Yeah, there's some water on the floor.
Yes.
So what I'm doing is I just want to make sure that as I'm spraying, not a whole lot of water is getting left until I'm really ready to start spraying it over my equipment. But see how there's quite a bit of water? You want to do this first. Otherwise you'll be wiping down your reformers a lot. I'm just waiting. There's a point where it'll stop. Now this can happen when you first turn it on. It can also happen when you overfilled your steam cleaner. I mean, like if it doesn't turn into steam after a few minutes, that's a sign that you've overfilled it, okay? So now, mine is pretty much stuck here in terms of keeping my floor wet. Okay. So here I am. There's still a little bit of water. Now my steam cleaner goes up to about 334 degrees. You can see I'm going over everything. Can you see it okay, Aaron?
Yep, I can see it.
I apologize. I've left out all of my what do you call it? All of my my tripods to my team. All of my tripods, to hold cameras and stuff to my team, so they're all teaching at home.
Right, yeah.
My hand right now. Now you notice I'm missing my straps here. My straps are at home because I washed all of them. But if my straps were here, I'd be going over them multiple times to help sanitize them. Okay? So as I'm here, you can see me doing this. I'm thinking, where does everybody touch on a reformer? They touch the foot bar, they touch the spring, they touch over here where they put the handle straps on. Hard to do both of these at the same time. I'm going over my tower, including my springs, my bars. Everybody getting a good visual?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going over that. Yeah, I mean, I'm usually hanging out a little longer right now because I'm trying to hold my phone and the steamer. But I'm also like, I'm coming in here to my cabinet. This is where people put their purses. You know, my box, handle. My door. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if anybody has any questions. Let me turn it back around here. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going over, I'm actually going at a much slower pace than I am when I'm just demonstrating to you guys. Okay, going over slower just to make sure that it's sanitized. Okay, now with that, you want to make sure anytime you do put it down or take a break, that when you spray it again, that water could come out again. So you want to start again, just like what I did with just doing it over the floor. So if water comes out, you're not harming any of your expensive equipment. Okay, but you got to think about, where is everybody touching the reformer when they're making a spring adjustment, making a foot bar adjustment, changing straps to handles, adding springs for tower. You know, you want to think everywhere they would touch. You also want to think about, you know, what kind of props are you really going to use right now? Is it worth the cleaning hassle? Okay, so we're thinking of, if you see me here, let's see, our general setup is we have our super sponges up here for people with sensitive knees. We have some of these pads for the platforms. We have our rings. What we're actually thinking of doing is we're gonna make a station at each reform, and I'll show you. So they're gonna have, we call these super sponges. I don't know what you guys all call them. They're technically a balance pad and a ring at each station. And that way at the end, they know they're responsible for cleaning that and it stays at their station. We're not gonna have where everybody goes to congregate to grab stuff.
Right.
So we're having to rethink how we're setting up our classroom. Okay. So if you look at it from another way, right? Get that station. Sorry, you see my steam cleaner hanging out over it. But that way, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a video this week and we're gonna show everybody how they clean at their station.
Awesome. So you're going to shoot a video and then share that with your
our people, yeah, with our studio family.
Awesome.
We're gonna say, hey, this is what you're gonna do, because we have wipes. We're gonna have everybody wipe everything down after use. Okay. And then, but we're gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna show them what to do. Okay, and then I'm gonna share a video of me steam cleaning. So not only are they gonna do that, but then I'm gonna come in with the steam cleaner after every class. We're gonna steam clean everything. So we're just giving that certainty that we're doing everything we can to keep our studio clean, our stations clean. Sounds so weird calling it a station, but you get my drift here. But that way we can keep it clean, you know, incredibly, you know, great environment for people to be in. You can see the spacing. We have 6 feet between the reformers here. You can see this room, oops, here. Oh, you can see it. You know, we're even looking at only having one tower class a week where we usually have multiple, you know, because we're thinking about having to, you know, change out the reformers, you know, that's extra steps. That's extra cleaning steps. So you may want to look at what you're offering right now. Maybe you don't want to do the circuit class. You know, maybe you want to look at what you're offering. I mean, my favorite is everybody's like, well, where's the intermediate class? Right? Like, well, you've been coming to Pilates for 2.5, 3 months. Chances are high you're not starting out as intermediate. I can tell you that. Right? Little Pilates owner humor. Right? Especially if they haven't been working out. So, you know what I mean? Sorry, kind of dry, kind of. I grab a towel here though, because I made a mess, some water. But we're also doing, I don't know if I shared this with you yet, Aaron, like, you know, just how you saw my straps were detached. We're gonna steam clean straps, just like, you know, people get fresh towels at our studio. They're gonna pick up a fresh pair of straps. When they're done with the class, they're gonna return it to a bin. That these were the used straps. So then I'm steam cleaning them between classes. People coming in the door will get fresh straps. There'll be a bin for freshly cleaned straps. Just like so here, if you come into my lobby, I'll give you a visual here. It's my hallway between our studios. Okay. This box down, I was gonna show it, but. Okay. So if you see, this is our front door. You see that? My orange pumpkin out there. Okay, we're coming in. And you see we have a TV here. We got a bench. So right there is actually where we're gonna have a bin of fresh straps. We're also gonna offer straps for sale. People wanna buy their own straps. But just like they're used to coming in, here's where we have extra towels. They're used to just grabbing fresh towels. So we're just adding a step, right? And also asking my team to keep an eye so people don't walk out with their straps, right? The straps are expensive, that, you know, that we can keep track of them. So we're trying to figure that last piece out, but that way we can keep everybody safe and healthy and happy.
Awesome. Awesome, Christina. Sandra did ask, what is the, if you could share the model of the one that you have, of the steam cleaner that you have.
I have the Ivation. I had the box over here. I pulled it out so I could tell you. It says max temperature 338. It's the Ivation steam cleaner. It gives me a product number here on the box. It does not. Aaron, can you share a link? Or I'll share a link after our call today in the video that's shared with the group. I'll share my link from Amazon. It's called the Ivation. I want to say it's Ivation 1700, but I know it was sold out shortly after I bought it. But there's different models. So you may want to look. What's most important, everybody, when you look at the different steam cleaners, a lot of them have different attachments. The only attachment you really need, let's see here, let me get the, can you see my little gun here? It's this little tip at the end.
Ah, yes, yes.
But having this long tube before the tip is great because this gets really, really hot. And if you hit yourself with the steam, you'll know it real quick.
I bet.
But yeah, but really just this little tip is what you need. Like I got the one with like 10, 12 attachments. I don't really use the other attachments. That's the main one I use.
Very nice. Very nice.
And
I have this one here I'll share with you, Sandra. It's similar to the one that Christina's using. Not exactly, but this one is in stock. It's $120 and it has that similar attachment on the end. And it is on Amazon with 4 out of 5 stars, 760 ratings. So I'll share this one with you, Sandra. And Michelle, welcome. There's
hey,
that.
Michelle. Is that Michelle from Calgary or a different Michelle?
I believe that it is. Yes, I believe that it is. Michelle, welcome. And Sandra, welcome as well. Of course, I've been chatting with Sandra on the side over here in our chat, but I don't think I verbally said welcome. So welcome, Sandra. And we do have someone
Awesome.
in Zoom here as well. Welcome. I don't see your actual name. It looks like a Twitter handle or of some sorts, but welcome. And if you have any questions, let us know. So you're scheduled for reopening June 1st. Let's just kind of run this down real quick. You've got your steam cleaner. You're going to be shooting a video of using the cleaner and then sharing that with your studio family.
Yes, I'm going to show them how to properly clean their reformer station. So
Awesome.
because wipes are in such hot demand, I only have a few of them out in some of our studios. Didn't want any of them nabbed before the close down. So here we have some Clorox wipes, if you can see it, that people will use to wipe down after use. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video of me wiping down everything that I want them to wipe down.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And we actually had a couple questions here on the Zoom side, and they ask, one, how long does it take you to steam your reformer? And do you plan on steaming after each class or each use?
Yes. Yes, it takes, I would say, about 2 to 3 minutes per reformer. Depends on how, I mean, I would try to get it really good. I would say a couple minutes. And then I do it, yes, we're going to be doing it between classes on top of everything. So we're not going to have as many classes back to back. However, I'm in a unique situation because we have multiple reformer studios here. So we can have one class start here at a certain time, then we can have another class stagger start another time. Does that make sense? So then it's not like almost so much at the top of the hour.
Right. And
so we have it spaced out.
Wonderful. And then she also asks, let's see here. I won't be able to purchase a lot of straps. I do plan on purchasing an additional set for each reformer so I can wash a set and have a set available. When steaming straps, are they wet?
Yeah, they do get slightly damp, but not for long. Whereas if you full on wash them, it takes a few hours for them to dry. But also keep in mind, if you have straps with the metal on the end, it could damage your washing machine. Because I know I brought a bunch, all of ours home and was washing. And, you know, I put them, even though I put them in a bag, like a lingerie bag, my lingerie bag is like toasted and ripped now. And like worn out, looks like it's been through World War III. And I just did like 4 loads of lots of straps each time. But I'm like, oh, that did not last long. So just a note that yes, we have extra straps. We're gonna sell straps. So I also got a supplier out of the West Coast. for us to be able to sell more straps as well at a better price. So I worked on that yesterday.
Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm. Just so many places have them on back order. I'm like, there's got to be another way, and I figured out another way.
Very nice. Would you mind sharing who you were going through for those? Maybe that would help.
I'll share it here in the next week. We're finalizing the order now, so I got to make sure it comes through before I recommend it. I don't want everybody to go there and they're like, oh my gosh, they didn't deliver.
Right.
So definitely, yes.
Cool.
We'll chat more on that. We'll introduce it later.
Cool. Yeah, I'll make a note of that. We'll bring that up next week for sure. Let's do that. And then we have a couple more questions here, Christina. One, and this goes back to I think you had the Clorox wipes earlier. And it was asked, are the wipes hard on the equipment?
We have not. I mean, we've been using Clorox wipes since beginning of March. I haven't noticed any issue. Awesome. We have not seen any deterioration or anything. Before that, what we usually use before the Clorox, before coronavirus, we've always used the 7th generation multi-purpose cleaner. That's our usual go-to. And we've used that for years.
And
but once again, that's not on their list. So, and also, I mean, any kind of cleaner right now is hard to find. I can't even get more 7th generation cleaner. I mean, I pulled from all of our studios and put it in our back stock because I'm like, the cleaning supply is getting so hard to come by. And I'll pull one of those from our closet here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't even think in my town I can get wipes. I don't. Where I'm at, it's still barren shelves for Clorox wipes.
So this is the one we usually use, 7th generation, multi-purpose. But right now with COVID, we are using the Clorox and the steam cleaning. But yeah, I mean, I'm down. I have, I think, like 16 here that are partially used, and then I only have 7 full ones in my back, in my back stock, which is unusually low for us, but given the circumstance, usually I have like 12 in the back stock. But interesting times we live in.
Isn't that the truth, Christina? Isn't that the truth? So, in addition to the steam cleaning, I remember we chatted earlier this week. You were at the studio and spacing off, putting tape on the ground and spacing off the reformers, I think it was.
Yes.
So you've got those spaced out, and then okay, yeah, perfect. So we got those spaced out, and
we have 3 and 3 in this room. So we have 6 reformers with towers.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, but we still got to decide what we're doing with all our props, or they'll be going in another room, so unless they're at the official reformer station, that we still have to decide everything that's going to be at the reformer station when we do our video this weekend.
Right.
We're excited though. I mean, like, it's feeling a little bit of a rush here, like everybody chiming in today. Oh, I want this day. I want this day. I want this day. Like, okay, yay. Yes. Thank you. It's like we've all been on pause and been worried and uncertain, but it's so nice to hear from, your favorite clients are like, oh my God, I'm in. Yes, add me, so it just gives you that validation that you're doing good in your community, that you're helping people. So I know we've all had some down days, and it's It's a real uplifting one. You know, just getting that reconfirmation from your people.
Absolutely, Christina. Well,
So, and I apologize. I have the pulled back, unflattering hairdo right now because I need to get my hair colored just like everybody else.
oh my goodness. Yes, yes. You know, it's funny. Yesterday, I was having a discussion, totally out of the, just a conversation with someone, and she, at the end of the conversation, was so excited because she was going to go get her hair done, and it made me think of you because we had we had chatted over the past few weeks, and you're like, oh my God, you know, don't
Right.
mind my hair.
Yeah, I don't want to blow out my hair and spend all that effort. And then you're like, oh, it's dark. I'm sure a few people here can relate. Yes. So, oh gosh. Well, I'm really hoping that more and more people are getting the good message that they can reopen. You know, I heard from a studio in Wisconsin where they could open a little earlier now, so they're super excited. You know, there's different changes, different challenges going on across the nation, and you got to do what's right for you in your population you serve. You know, not everyone has the best answer. Like, you know your people, you know your studio, you know your cleanliness, you know, put all that into account. I know some studios that don't want to open right away.
Right.
And that's okay too. You know, we all have a different comfort level.
Absolutely.
So just a reminder of that, you know, you set the tone for your studio.
Absolutely. And I think it's wonderful that you're sharing that, you know, that personal social responsibility with your studio family, that their health and their safety is what's top of mind right now for you. And, you know, you're going above and beyond the guidelines by steam cleaning everything, and then sharing them and letting them know that. And then, you know, you're wiping down the equipment, and you were, I think you'd mentioned you're even going to be checking temperatures.
We are.
Okay. I mean,
we are. I have a thermometer that can touch the forehead.
Awesome. Okay. So you've got the forehead scanner.
Yeah. Like, isn't that crazy? We have to even think about that. Like, oh. And you know what? Like, my team is awesome. They're all getting excited to be back. And you know, I'm not necessarily on the schedule so much because I'm in charge of cleaning. I am the head steam cleaner and supporting my team. So sometimes, you know, we got to do a job we don't want to do being the owner, right? And I would say cleaning is not my number one forte, but it will be moving forward right now to get us through this. So it's like one of those things where, you know, we may not be the strongest or maybe the weakest part of us. We got to build it up, right? So it's not the fancy part. It's not the glorious part, but your studio family will appreciate you for taking, you know, their health as your number one priority right now to keep everybody safe. So it goes a long way. It's just like me. I mean, for years I cleaned the studio on my own because I couldn't hire somebody. You know, I couldn't pay for somebody in the beginning, right? Did I like it? No. That's one of the hats I had to wear, right? So same thing, just coming back full circle. Full circle. Yeah, it's all good.
Is there?
But I do have.
Oh, go ahead, Christine. Sorry.
No, but I do have to say, that, I mean, I still do clean. I mean, I do have a cleaner that helps us, I would say partially now, nothing full time for us. But I actually enjoy I think just the calmness of just mopping our floors here. I really do. It's just kind of a time for me to relax, listen to some good music. You know, I pull out our bucket and our mop, and we have the floors here, so it makes it really easy. So I do have to say that. So I might have to think of how can you reframe your mind to enjoy some of this, some of the parts you don't want to do. You can listen to some new music. You can listen to a good video. You can listen to something you want to learn as you're cleaning. You know, just something to think about.
There you go. Oh, we had a question. Are you requiring masks for teachers and clients?
We are still waiting for exact guidance from our state on if they will have to wear masks while exercising. We're not 100% sure yet. We are hoping that they will be able to work out without the mask on because of the social distance. But we will ask, you know, if they could wear a mask coming in and out until they get to their station. That is our thought. But we did let our people know that is still TBD, to be determined, because we're waiting on a little more guidance from our state on that. And, you know, it's interesting because all of this is just, you know, policies and stuff. It's really not law. So we gotta find a happy medium.
Right.
Because, you know, we do see what's happening in other places where people are being challenged for masks and stuff. And it's like, how do we do it in a soft but encouraging way? You know, or even having to look at, you know, just having people when they come back signing a new waiver. You know, and even stating that if you start to cough or sneeze excessively in class, you need to immediately exit the class. You know, something we've never really had to think about, right? So everybody's going to be on edge. I equate this to, I used to be a flight attendant. For those of you that don't know, I was a flight attendant in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I was a part of when all the planes got grounded because of September 11th.
Oh, wow.
The first day planes could go back in the air was that Friday. And I was on one of the first flights out of Denver. I cannot tell you how well behaved everybody was on that flight. And we had a medical emergency on that flight. So halfway on our way, we had a gentleman that started having a seizure. Okay. I was the lead flight attendant, and we were in the middle of our food and beverage service. We had to immediately stop that. I had to attend to the person that was having the seizure in the middle of the aircraft. And we eventually landed, had an emergency landing, but everyone was so well behaved. No one had an issue with it. Unfortunately, that man got taken off by an ambulance and by medical personnel when we arrived. And, you know, but it's just a reminder of that. Like, I think we're going to go back to that time where everybody is actually extra reconsiderate for a short amount of time, that they're appreciative that they can get out of the house, get to work out. So I think you're going to have a lot of people that will comply with a lot of things for the first month or two, but it's like, you got to figure out what are going to be your guidelines? How can you stay, you know, above the recommendations, and, you know, and be smart about it. Protect yourself, protect your business, you know, protect your team. So we are asking our team to wear masks. You know, I did order face shields for everybody if they want to wear one. I know not everybody wants to wear one, but I just ordered that in case. We have extra gloves for everybody. I mean, we recommend it, but won't require it. So everybody's at a different level. But we'll say we suggest this, this, and this. You must wear a mask. And generally, everybody's been totally fine with that. And the ones that aren't fine about coming into the studio, they're just staying to teach virtual. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We support them too, but they're supporting us by teaching virtually for us. I have 3 I know I have 3 teachers that are going to stay virtual. One is doing both. The rest are in studio. Yeah, so listen to your people. We all live in different parts of the country and the world. It may be more prevalent in your area, so you may want to make even more extra precautions. I'm in the state of Kentucky. We really have not had that many, even in my county. I want to say at the most they had 4 people in the hospital with it.
Mm.
And then in my area is about 250,000 people. Not in a major city, but it's the 2nd largest city in Kentucky. So yeah, I mean, think about, what is the likelihood of people in your area having it and carrying it? And I think if you're in California, there's quite a few more clusters than for like me in Kentucky. You're in New
Right.
York, yeah, that's a bigger situation. If you're in the Northeast, it's a much bigger situation. So, look at how you can operate smart,
Mm-hmm.
follow the guidelines to how you would like to, and make sure you educate your people coming in the door, whether it's your clients or your team, how you want it to be. So they know. So you're setting them up for success too.
Awesome. No, I think you're so right, Christine. It's like in my area, Northern California, there has really been a limited number of cases. And so our counties, kind of defied the governor of California and opened up early. But in order to do that, it's not that things are back to normal. It's that there's extra responsibility on all of us to make sure that when we do go out, we're wearing a mask and we're being socially distanced and we're taking care of all the things and that we should be in order to be responsible and be healthy and safe for us and for others. So it's not that things are back to normal, it's that we have that additional responsibility. And I think that it's absolutely wonderful that you are doing all of this and making sure that your people and your studio family knows that you're taking that responsibility and they know that their safety is in good hands when they come back into your studio when you reopen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Yeah, because you don't want people scared to come in. You want people to feel welcome and safe.
Right. It's not like the pictures. You see these random pictures or scenes on like Wisconsin. Areas of Wisconsin are open early, and then it's like the bars are packed.
Yeah, exactly.
Michelle asked, where did you get your thermometer, your forehead scanning thermometer?
I bought it at the pharmacy a couple months ago, back when I was picking up extra prescriptions. I have a lot of lung issues, in case you don't know my medical history. Once I heard about this virus and how it attacks the lungs, I went and got all of my inhaler prescriptions filled. And at that time, I saw a thermometer. I'm like, I should buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, what I saw what was happening on the West Coast. And so I bought it at a pharmacy where I got one of my prescriptions filled. This must have been first week of March. So I know I do see Facebook ads all the time on thermometers. But I got mine at an actual pharmacy. So it may not be a bad idea if you know a smaller pharmacy to see if they have any in stock.
Yeah, let me look on Amazon to see if there's any stock out there, just real quick, and I'll share. If there is, I will share. Oh, look, type in F in the search bar on Amazon. Forehead thermometer pops up.
Oh, look at that! They're not listening or anything.
It looks like any of these on Prime. I will share the link here. Looks like there's a number available. I don't know if most of these are in stock, but they're in between the $50 and $100 range, depending on the features, it looks like. So let me share this link over here. There we go. All right, Christina. Well, we've been rocking for just about an hour. Did you have anything you wanted to add as before we depart, or?
No, I mean, I think it's just important. You got to figure out your cleaning strategy for your studio, how you communicate that to not only your clients, but your team so they feel safe too. I think that's pretty much the nitty gritty of today in terms of, you know, just the whole avenue of just steam cleaning, right? The idea behind it is so we can sanitize and keep everybody safe at our studio.
Right. Absolutely. So once again, just a quick recap for everybody watching. What Christina's doing is not only is she doing all of these things, but she's documenting it with a video and then sharing that video with her studio family. So she's sending out emails, she's sending out text message, she's letting them know with the video that she's making about these measures that they're taking, so that they know that they're in good, safe hands when the studio, in her particular case, the doors reopen on June 1st. So, you know, I encourage you to do the same and, you know, create a video of you doing the things that you expect to be doing upon reopen, so that your family, your clients, you know, if you have instructors, they know, everybody knows, you know, what's going on, so that everybody feels safe and comfortable when everybody comes back into the doors. So I think
Definitely.
that is awesome. Thanks for sharing today, Christina. And
You're welcome. And sorry, it's a little shaky on my end. I lent my tripods to my team to film at home, and I'm like just having to hold it old school today. Having to hold it old school in my hand the whole time, so all good. But yeah, anybody, you know, ask questions if you have, especially if you're watching this video afterwards. You know, we're more than happy to chime in and help answer some other questions. But, you know, do whatever you can to keep your studio family, your people, all safe. So I'll end with that.
awesome. And you know what? I just before we go, I just, you know, don't worry about the quality of the video, really. Just put it together and share it. You know, it doesn't have to be commercially produced. You just be on a phone, you know, and it's just important that you get it done and you share it. Don't worry about, you know, any quality issues whatsoever. Get it done, share it so that they know. So don't let anything hold you up or hold you back. That's all.
Have somebody help film you. Have somebody hold your phone. That it's hard to hold my phone and to steam clean at the same time. Bring a buddy just that'll hold your phone and film you while you're doing that.
There you go. Right on. Cool. Thank you, Christina. If anybody has any questions, drop a comment. We're happy to help. That's what we're here for. That's what the group is here for. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope everybody here stays healthy, stays happy, stays energized, because we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep serving our people. And oh, one thing. All right, one last thing. It's like I'm like Columbo. One more thing. Putting together the new membership area. We already have the Facebook ads training area where we're sharing our strategies to attract students for virtual and physical locations for Facebook ads, and then the nurture sequence that goes on after, and that engaging communication for relationship building. That's a smaller piece to a much larger membership that we're putting together. And a community that we're assembling to lift each other and help each other with this tools and strategies for student acquisition, retention, relationship building, all sorts of things. And so keep an eye out in the group. I'll be sharing more about the new membership area very soon. I'm excited. I've been working on it really hard. So keep an eye out. And that is the last thing. I promise I will Columbo out the door. Bye,
Bye.
Christina. See ya.
Bye, Aaron.
Bye, guys. See you later.